Welcome back. Mark Bays from Oklahoma Forestry Services has joined us. We're going to talk about poisons, what to watch out for this summertime. Welcome back.
Oh, thanks. Good to be here. And yeah, just watch out. Don't touch.
Yeah,
you know,
no touching
be careful.
anything on the
I'm
table.
a trained professional.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, we are not obviously
I know, right?
at anything.
Yeah. So summer is here. 4th of July is coming up. People just spending a lot of time outside. So it's just time to go over some of those things out there that might cause you some problems if you come in close contact with them.
All right. Well, what are we going to start with?
Well, the first one is sumac.
Sumac.
You heard of poison sumac, right?
Yeah, I've never known to look for it. No.
Yeah. Well, we don't have it.
Oh, why?
This is actually one of the 3 kinds of sumacs that we have in Oklahoma. And these are, remember when I come in before in some of these
You made us eat those.
You made us eat them?
Yeah.
You're eating plants again?
Yes, again.
Oh my
you
gosh.
can make a lemony kind of a tea out of that. But we don't have poison sumac, so that's okay.
Why are you touching it then if it's poison?
It's not. We don't have
We
poison
don't have
sumac.
it. This one's safe.
This one's safe.
This one's safe.
Yeah,
okay.
this one's safe.
We have thistles, we have stinging nettles, we have all kinds of things like that. And so the next one I want to talk about is a stinging nettle.
Okay.
And it's about a 3-foot high plant that we see just pretty much all across the state. You see it along roadsides, in meadows, and those kinds of things. And that's this one that I have right here.
Okay.
You have little tiny thorns that are all around it. Actually, the flowers are really beautiful, and they're really aromatic. They really smells nice.
Smell good.
But you really have to watch out. This one happens to be called a bull nettle. And there's stinging nettles. There's all sorts of nettles. And this one's a bull nettle just because the thorns on it are just crazy.
Yeah, it looks wicked.
Yeah. Now, I saw you touch it. So, I mean, if you
Well,
can...
if you're careful, you can gently pet it. But be careful.
Yeah.
It's like playing with fire.
Yeah. I actually, when I was picking this earlier, I did get my finger, and it's still kind of burning.
Yeah.
Now, with this, if you have to come in contact with any of the nettles, soap and water, you can do that. You can get a piece of tape if you see the needle, because it's like a hypodermic needle with those toxin in there. You won't really get a rash, but it'll just burn for a while.
Really?
You can take some tape and pull it out, or those stingies pads for insects and things. You can rub that on it. Baking soda is good. This is another one of those things that's actually edible.
Okay.
It's
edible, but it'll hurt going down.
Yeah, I mean, just look at all the thorns on that. And what you have to do is you put it in a sack, you let it that come off, and then you can roast it, then you can grind it up and actually use it like cornmeal.
Oh, wow.
It's kind of tasty. We don't have poison oak. You hear a lot about poison oak. I got poison. We do not have poison oak.
No, really? Okay, I didn't know that.
We're in a very far corner of the state, we might have it up, like around Missouri. But the most thing that we have that people really need to be cautious about is poison ivy.
Yeah.
And the thing about poison ivy is we have some pictures of just how different it looks. It could be really small. This is how you normally find it, and it's just just growing in a little small shrub form. And then look at that. That's a Bermuda grass that is actually growing out in all those little vines.
So it can just pop up like a little weed out of Bermuda grass?
It runs like on a vine. And here's what's scary too is just look how big it can be. That's me standing next to some poison ivy. That's an 8-foot reach that I have there, and so yeah, really amazing stuff. I mean, it's just so you never know what it looks like. Believe it or not, it's quite beautiful in the fall. That's poison ivy with a real pretty color in the fall.
Wow.
So how do you get rid of poison ivy? I mean, if you find it, or if you find big, huge chunks of it, what do you do? Do you just have to get in there and cut it all down?
Well, if you want to be careful of that, because it is the oils. It's the oils of the plant that gets on you and causes the rash to break out. And there's a number of sprays out there that you can spray on it, and it's really hard to get out because it is a vine and it goes underground and everything. Now, I've always heard there's a lot of different myths about poison ivy.
Yeah, like what?
Well, is there any that you've heard about that?
That some people are totally fine with poison ivy, like it doesn't bother them at all, really?
About 1 in 10 actually. So 90% of the population do have some sort of allergic reaction.
Yeah.
When you're young, you seem to be more allergic to it. Sometimes when you first come in contact with it, you might not get it, but the next time you touch it, you will get it. And then the longer you go without touching it, the more you might not be allergic to it. So very few people, most people are allergic to it.
Okay.
So real quick, what to look for? The 5 leaves? Is that how you tell it's poison ivy?
Nope, it's the 3 leaf.
It's the 3 leaf.
It's the 3
Wait,
leaf.
what?
Yeah, 3 leaves of 3.
I could be rolling around in fields of stuff this whole time. I always thought it was poison ivy.
No, and like you can catch it. You have to come in direct contact with the leaf, Or if you're really susceptible to it like I am, I've caught it when my dogs have run through it and they get the oil, and then I go to pet my dog and then I get it on it like that, and so I transfer it that way. One of the myths is that you can get it through smoke. You don't want to burn it. And actually there's some truth to that. It's not necessarily the smoke, but the tiny particles of the oils may be carried in the smoke, because whenever you burn something, particles come up. And so you can actually breathe that if you're really susceptible to it and be a problem with that.
Wow.
Don't scratch, don't itch. Like if I had a rash here and I touched you,
yeah.
you can't pass it that way. But you don't want to scratch because you can kind of start an infection.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're blowing my mind, Mark. All right.
Poison ivy.
Totally blowing my mind. Thank you for coming in.
Yeah.
Look at your poison ivy patch right there.
Right.
No, it's fine. It's
That's
3 leaves.
a nice, nice tattoo
leaves
there.
of 3, let it be. No,
Yeah.
Oh, and what's one of the other myths is they eat it to desensitize themselves for it. No, not the case. That's really
insane.
crazy.
That's crazy. I don't know who
Oh my
made
gosh.
that.
Even Mark would make us
Yeah.
eat poison
Some
ivy.
frat guy.
I'd never do that.
Eat it. It's going to be better.
Yeah,
Don't worry.
exactly.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you so much, Mark.
Well, there's plenty more ahead, including another performance by Wayne McEvely. Keep it here on KSBI.